It's time! Oh, I've been waiting for this day. I wanted to see the real ones. I don't want to see these big time content creators, because they're content creators. They're there to make content. They're trying to make money off this game. They're not trying to really get their honest opinion of it. Not yet, at least. But Soft Drink TV has finally come through for you, boy. So shout out to Soft Drink TV, my partner in crime. Because apparently motherfuckers like putting me and him together because of his hatred for Madden and my hatred of 2K. Actually, I don't really hate 2K. I just don't like where they've gone. I've seen the writing on the wall for like 10 years now. It's been 10 years, yo. It's been 10 fucking years. And I've seen the writing on the wall, man. Oh, man. Look, man. I gotta keep it real with y'all. Before we even start this fucking video, I just gotta keep it real with y'all. Why are you buying this game? What are you getting out of this? There's nothing to get out of this. It's the same shit from the last year with a roster update. There is nothing new. I have watched Chris Smooth videos. I have watched other countless YouTuber videos. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that has separated this game from 2K14, for 2K24 and 2K23 and 2K22, other than the rosters. This is a glorified roster update. There has been no, and I mean no, improvements. There have been some slight little animations here and there, but for the most part, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, defense is still atrocious, even though they said there was 9,000 animations in the game. But defense is still fucking atrocious, unless you play with people like they said, unless you play with people like Caruso, Kawhi, or Victor Wembanyama. More than likely, you're not going to see a lot of defensive animations, from what I was told. From what I heard so far. And look, man, listen, dog. I'm not trying to discourage you. If you want to go buy the game, go buy the game. But just know you're not helping the cause. We supposed to be done with 2K. I thought we was done with 2K. Why y'all niggas buying the game? Why is everybody buying this game? Why is everybody like, man, I gave in, bro. I folded, bro. I apologize, bro. I folded, bro. They got the 2K15 parks. Really? The 2K15 parks. Is it that serious? The 2K15 parks is really that serious that you wanted to go? Do you know that they're only seasonal? So you only get to play them like once a season? Once or twice maybe a season. You're not going to be able to go back there and really play it. So is it really fucking worth it? No, it's the same fucking game. Why are y'all buying this shit? What are you gaining from this? I'm being dead ass serious right now. What do you gain from buying this game every year? It's the same fucking game, dog. There is nothing new to this. Okay? Unless you play 2K on PC and you just happy that they giving y'all the PS5, Xbox XS version, then I understand. Because y'all niggas been fucked over for the past couple of years now. But this is the thing though that y'all have to understand. They are pandering only because they're trying to get you to buy the game. Once you get the game, you're gonna see the exact same shit from the game that you already had. The game that you already had, where your mod player is established, where you got all the VC you need. They pandered, they mind fucked y'all this year. They knew y'all was done with 2K. They knew they fucked up with 2K24. They knew that, damn, we did it again. We put a 2K18 again. Oh boy, we gonna have to, nah, fuck that. Manipulate them. Give them everything they want. Anything they want. Whatever. What do they be wanting? What do they be wanting? They want the auction house back. Okay, give them the auction house back. Badge regression. They don't like that. Okay, we ain't gonna do badge regression no more. All right, we good on that. They don't want microtransactions. Now you know we ain't getting rid of no microtransactions. Now you know better than that. Come on, dog. But you know what I'm saying? Like y'all really are fucking idiots. Y'all really fell for the okie doke. Why? Why did you fall for the okie doke? They pander to you to get you to buy the game. Once you get the game, it's the same exact shit. Nothing has changed. Nothing. 9,000 animations. Probably only gonna see about like 200 of them. Fuck out of here, bruh. There is nothing new about this game. It was the same game then. It's the same game now, dog. Why are y'all buying this? Why can't y'all just accept the fact that we need to stop this shit? Okay, we need to stop it. 2K25 has to be sacrificed. And what do you niggas do? You buy it. I already know they sold $1 million. I already know they got their $1 million. Now it's just the microtransactions. The first week microtransactions. For what reason, though? I really want y'all to understand. For what reason are you buying this game? What do you gain out of this? There's nothing in it no more. They're not innovating no more. They're just figuring out new ways to get you to buy the game so that way they can convince you to just pay more VC. They've been using manipulation tactics on y'all since 2K18, dog. Manipulation tactic after manipulation tactic. See, before 2K18, everything was fine. It was cool. It was affordable. You could grind your player out. Getting 20,000 VC was good enough to get you really good stats, really good attributes. 20,000 VC today ain't shit. That's just enough to buy you a shirt and some shorts from the fucking store. Now it's all about these brands. Now it's all about these fucking. Now it's all about, you know what I'm saying, having all this shit on and shit. No. You're buying this game for what fucking reason? I really want y'all to think about it. I really want y'all to think about this. Since 2K13, right? Since 2K13, they have made you pay for the fundamentals of basketball. Meaning, when you make your My Career character, you have to buy his jump shots. You don't just get the jump shots like you used to. See, 2K10, 2K11, 2K12, all the jump shots was available. If you wanted Michael Jordan, you could get Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted Derrick Rose layup package was right there for you. If you wanted the dribbling animations, you had to get your attributes up to a certain level, to a certain number, and then you would start unlocking all the dribble moves and shit. Think about it. You have to pay for a jump shot. Why am I paying for a jump shot? It's the most fundamental part of the game. It's the only I really want y'all to sit down and think about what they have been doing to you for the past couple of years. They are making you pay to have fundamentals of the game instead of just letting your player be built up to a certain level or let your attributes get up to a certain number so that way you can acquire jump shots, dunks, layups, dribble package. packages. You know what I'm saying? No. Instead, what they do now is they force you to pay money to get your player up and then pay more money just to get animations. Do you not see the fuckery in that? Has that ever made fucking sense to y'all? You're paying for the fundamentals of basketball. No NBA player pays for a jump shot. You gradually get that. That should just be a skill. It's the fundamentals. Y'all have been getting robbed for so many fucking years. And then they don't even have the decency to let you create your jump shot. Or you can create your jump shot, but you still have to buy the animations to make the jump shot that you want. See how they're fucking you over? See how they figured out, see how they masterfully manipulate you and get you to just do what they want you to do, which is buy. Oh, you gotta buy these animations. You gotta buy that dunk package. You gotta buy that jump shot. You gotta buy that dribble animation. You have to buy all these things instead of just fucking working your way up in the attribute, working your attributes up to acquire these things. It's not fair. But you sit here and you buy this game every year. How have y'all not figured this out yet? I've been waiting on y'all niggas to get here for a long time. I've been noticing this shit for 10 years. 10 fucking years. I have been noticing everything. And I told y'all niggas 10 years ago, it won't be long before you have to fucking pay for everything. Before you have to pay just to get into the game. Before you have to pay just to have just basic fundamentals of basketball. I predicted all this shit was gonna happen, and what happened? The basic fundamentals of basketball are all behind a paywall. If you want even more animations, you gotta buy season passes. I how is this not click with y'all yet? How does it not click to y'all yet that, you know what? This is some bullshit right here. Why am I paying for animations when I can just hit a certain attribute level, and when I should just be able to hit a certain attribute level and be able to acquire them that way? That would make the game more, that would entice you to play the game more. But see, it's not about playing the game. It's about how much money can we get off these niggas. And y'all sit here and y'all do this shit, bro. Y'all sit here and y'all really fucking just let these niggas rob y'all every year. They manipulated y'all. They pandered to you every year. You weren't supposed to fall for the hype. You were supposed to wait for the gameplay to come out. These content creators, they've been lying to you. They've been paid. You think these niggas got flew out for a reason? They've been paid. They got contracts, NDAs. They've been given scripts and told what to say. Like, oh, okay, we supposed to talk about this. Every content creator got flew out and had exclusive gameplay before the game came out all said the exact same shit. Bump steals, jump shot good, jump shot more fluid, the dribbling is good, blah, blah, blah. This is good, that is good. They all were saying the same thing every video. Bro, listen. Understand. They manipulated y'all to buying this fucking game again. You fall for it every fucking time. Dumbass motherfucker. Y'all fall for this shit. And I can't hold your hand. I can't guide y'all through it. You have to figure it out on your own. But if you ain't gonna learn, then that's on y'all. If y'all want to sit up here and keep getting fucked over by 2K, then be my fucking guest.
Wow. Turn this on. Turn it on!
Like, all I want y'all to do is just understand what y'all are getting yourselves into every fucking year. All I want y'all to understand is what they're doing to you every fucking year. They are manipulating you, and y'all are so fucking gullible for one fucking thing. They showed y'all 2K15 My Part trailer, and y'all niggas lost y'all fucking mind. I'm like, what's the catch? I knew there was a catch. And this year, they didn't even tell y'all what the catches were. Last year, they was bold about telling y'all about the microtransactions that you was going to have to deal with. They was bold about telling you about, oh, you have to pay for season passes. Oh, you going to have to, you going to have to pay this and pay that. Hey, what you want us to do? It's our game. We can do whatever we want to do at this point. Buy. Yes, that's right. Buy. All the microtransactions in the world. They give you all this garbage, and it's not it is not equaling anything that says we've made strong improvements. We did this, we did that. A couple of animations, that's not enough. It should never be enough. We made some improvements to this game mode. Okay. What about just giving us a good basketball game? What about taking it back to how it used to be? When y'all did give a fuck. When y'all weren't so money hungry. When y'all were when y'all owned the only thing y'all was hungry about was being at the top. And being the best basketball game out there on the market. What happened to that? What happened to that 2K11? What happened to that 2K12? What happened to that 2K13, 14, 15, 16? What happened to that 2K that actually gave a fuck and actually improved the game to a point where it's not as recognizable as the last game was? Think about it. From 2K11 to 2K16, not one fucking year either game was recognizable to each other. Well, maybe 2K14 on the PS3 was recognizable to 2K13, but that was the thing though. That was the last gen version. The next gen version, whole different new script. 2K15 different from 2K14. 2K16 is different from 2K15. 2K17 they stopped giving a fuck. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. 2K17 they stopped giving a fuck. Y'all overrate that 2K17 anyway. 2K17 is overrated as fuck. But y'all really sit up here and y'all really sat here and really bought this game. They haven't shown y'all anything that says I want to buy this game. I'm interested now. They didn't show not one thing. All they had to show y'all was some nostalgia. And that was enough for y'all to be like, you got it, take my money. Sad. But anyways though, my 20-minute rant is over. Let's get into this video.
NBA 2K25 is here, and it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Since the jump to the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles with NBA 2K21, the game hasn't really taken much of a step forward in my opinion.
It's never taken
2K23 added My Eras to My NBA, which was huge, but outside of that mode, not much else has really changed. 2K24 was basically a roster update with less forgiving shooting and more monetization than ever before. So for 2K25, with 2K's focus clearly being gameplay, I was expecting the game to more or less play the same as last year and be one of the worst 2Ks. I figured all the gameplay talk was just marketing fluff for some more animations that wouldn't really affect gameplay much.
And it pretty much was.
Luckily, I was wrong. Gameplay has taken some genuine steps forward and is easily the best it has ever been on the current console generation. By no means is this the best playing 2K of all time, but they did a great job balancing fluid player movement and realism, while also giving users more control over how they want to experience gameplay. Gameplay is really solid in NBA or WNBA games in 2K25. That being said, My NBA still suffers from similar issues in terms of contract logic, CPU decision making, and player progression, and also has some annoying historical inaccuracies. My Career is an annoying slog that clearly only exists to be a tedious grind that pushes the player towards buying VC. my team added a new park for triple threat, further slowing down matchmaking and bloating up the game's size. You earn less VC than ever before for playing games, yet upgrades cost more VC than ever before. The Battle Pass system is still there, hiding certain player cards and even animations behind a paywall, and outside of some random new additions like go-kart racing, there really isn't anything new to do in this game compared to last year. It's a better game than 2K24 thanks to those gameplay improvements, but it's just as money hungry, if not more, and the majority of the game modes are either untouched or try and push you towards wanting to spend more money on this fully priced video game. Keep in mind that I am not a competitive NBA 2K player. I mostly play offline unless I'm playing with friends. My most played mode in the game is my NBA, not the city, and not my team, so my perspective on the game might be different than someone who only really plays online. So I have mixed feelings on NBA 2K25. On one hand, we have some impressive simulation-style gameplay, improved graphics and lighting overall, and the deepest franchise mode out of any other major sports game. But on the other hand, that same franchise mode in my NBA still has a ton of issues. The game is more predatory and pay-to-win online than ever before, and some features are actually now missing, such as All-Star Team-Up. And when playing head-to-head, you can't run with the same team every game anymore. And that only scratches the surface of my issues with this game. Let's get into it. Gameplay is the best part of NBA 2K25, but it's at its best on an actual NBA or WNBA court. Player movement is faster than usual, especially on defense, and player models shrunk just a bit to more accurately scale to the court size, which helps with spacing and gives you more room to work with. Shooting is much better than last year thanks to the new shot timing profiles. Difficulty-based might be the best choice for those who struggle with shooting, as you can practice shooting at a lower difficulty and work your way up until you find the right level of challenge. Normal risk-reward makes shooting similar to how it's always been, but the new low risk-reward option makes it so you can still hit a poorly timed shot by taking player ratings into account more than user skill. High risk-reward is the opposite, and best for online play. The new shooting mechanic, Pro Stick Rhythm Shooting, is my favorite way of shooting now. You flick the right stick down and then all the way back up, timed with your player's release. I found this the easiest way to greenlight shots, and the motion itself is very authentic to shooting an actual basketball. I think it's a good evolution of the mechanic compared to holding square or just releasing the right stick. Having to follow through with the shot feels really good to me. The shooting meter, however, is kind of weird. The 3 options you can customize aren't close to shooting meters from previous 2Ks. The arrow is the closest one, but it's just not very easy to see or time. I prefer using rhythm shooting and looking at the player's shot itself rather than the meter to time a shot. Signature go-to shots is a really cool new feature as well. Holding up on the right stick starts a sequence for the player that eventually turns into an off-the-dribble jump shot, and you release the stick to time it. I found it really fun trying this out with different players and seeing how authentic the animations looked for guys like LeBron James or Kevin Durant. Dribble moves are also more varied depending on the player, and while they are fast and fun, your player gets fatigued pretty quickly, so it ends up not being cheesy. Gameplay still suffers from CPU logic issues and poor spacing at times, but player movement, shooting, and overall animation quality and variety has taken a massive step forward. Players play more authentically than they ever have. It plays kind of like older 2Ks like 2K15 in terms of the fluidity of player movement, but it has a much stronger penalty for fatigue. It has a similar fun factor. It also feels less scripted and more user-controlled than usual. If you run out of bounds, you run out of bounds rather than feeling like you hit an invisible wall. I find playing through NBA games online or against the CPU to be challenging and enjoyable, where last year I found them annoying and restrictive. That's a huge step up. My career is a letdown and worse than usual. Let's start with the positives. The player builder. It's more forgiving than usual and lets you create pretty much any type of player you want without having to heavily sacrifice important ratings. You can even choose between real NBA player builds and get their signature animations, or you can tweak them, allowing you to more easily and more quickly create a usable build. It's a solid step forward. When you first boot up the game, it throws you into an NBA Finals game with your My Player fully maxed out and dominating. I found the gameplay really fun and impressive here, as my player was fast and fluid to control both on offense and defense. Afterwards, you can either exit to the main menu or continue your My Career story. At that point, I was thinking, okay, my career seems dope this year. But then reality hits. Your player literally wakes up from a dream, and it turns out the finals game you played in was simply him manifesting his future. You walk around your apartment to either practice in your My Court or exit to the city, and when you start playing your high school championship, you'll immediately notice that despite being one of the top players in the country, you are ridiculously slow. The fun factor of that initial game completely disappears, because as a 60 overall, you are unplayable, and it doesn't feel fair. All the positives about fluid player movement and realism mean nothing in My Career because your character is just so slow by default, and it'll take so much time grinding just to make him somewhat playable. This game does this to push you towards buying VC, virtual currency, but it costs 200,000 VC just to upgrade your player to an 85 overall.
That's ridiculous.
That is insane. If you lose your high school championship, you actually have to do it again until you win, rather than the story being dynamic like it used to be. You would think that losing the championship would have you motivated and make for a good story, but no, you have to replay it until you win and then you get some VC. This feels lazy and as if 2K wanted to record as few cutscenes as possible. What was once an interactive NBA career simulation is now an obvious front end for buying VC and playing in the heavily monetized city. My Career should be an offline mode, or have an offline option at the very least, that allows you to create a 90 overall player, for example, and play through the story. I get that being able to make a 99 from the start would be overpowered online in the park, which is why that should only be allowed in an offline My Career that is separated from the park. It should let you choose between a G League caliber career where you start from the bottom and try to rise to the top, or one as a role player, or one as a generational superstar. Only being able to start as a 60 overall and the mode only existing to push you towards the pay-to-win online modes ruins it completely. You'll have more fun playing My Career in NBA 2K11 or 2K15 if you're an offline player. The city is extremely large, takes forever to navigate around, and unless you pay real money for drip, no one is going to want to play with your brown shirt looking ass. The social pressure to buy VC is real. As you walk from event to event, you'll notice store after store where you can spend real money.
I told y'all this is manipulation. They said we gonna make the park smaller. They made the park smaller, but look at it. Everything you see, store. Buy. More microtransaction. Everything is a scam in this game. This game is a complete fucking scam. This game is a complete fucking scam and y'all just keep buying it. Like fucking idiots. Why? It's gotten to a point where I keep saying at some point we gotta say no, but it's clear that y'all niggas will never understand that. Y'all niggas don't understand the power of a dollar. And when you finally understand the power of a dollar, you'll start to understand that, hey, if we don't buy this game, we got the power. You think them pandering to y'all was getting the power? No. That was the manipulation. Let them think they're in charge, then when we give them the game, we take their money. It's a fucking scam.
You'll notice that you can now race a go-kart around a track for some VC, and if you can have a world record time, you'll win a bunch of VC. You can spin a wheel for a chance at VC. The city does its best to increase your subconscious desire for VC by giving you a small taste of it every now and then, but never enough. The whole mode appears to only exist to facilitate a virtual economy rather than actually being a fun basketball video game. I know a lot of people, in fact probably the majority of 2K players, exclusively play in the city and find the park the most fun when having competitive matches between 99 overall monsters where skill is the only difference between the players. But it's just not for me. Unless you want to spend hundreds of dollars to get to that point, or hundreds of hours grinding offline My Career games starting as a 60 overall to get to that point, this game will not be fun. And why should you spend so much time grinding in a pay-to-win game? If you enjoy the grind, then good for you, but I personally cannot recommend my career to the average NBA fan anymore. My team has gotten worse in some areas. The auction house is back at least, but it never should have been removed. The season pass returns, making the game even more predatory and difficult for players who only spend $70 for the base game and nothing else. There is now an entire park for triple threat, so instead of instant matchmaking, you now get to walk around in your brown shirt and literally wait in line, hoping someone wants to play with you. This makes the game take up more storage, and it already takes up too much, and it's completely pointless. Speaking of pointless, my GM is back, but it's essentially my NBA, and the role-playing elements are now visual again. Although the mode doesn't seem any more complex or deep than it was in NBA 2K15, for example. Instead of true innovation, like with my team, they added another place to awkwardly walk around. You can now walk around a corporate office, and you can talk to John Moran or your team's governor. It's good to see my GM return, don't get me wrong. It deserves to be a standalone mode, and it's a pretty cool idea and concept, but it still feels the same as it always was. Hopefully it gets more attention in the future to differentiate it from the My NBA mode, as it should have a heavier emphasis on actual general manager duties rather than just walking around a generic office. The WNBA modes essentially turn 2K25 into a fully featured WNBA game. I have no complaints here. You can play through a My Career type career mode called the W and even play online, and unlike with My Career, it's not pay to win, and you start out at a much more reasonable overall. My WNBA is basically the same as My NBA, which makes it a better franchise mode than you'll find in basically any other sports game, and this is a franchise mode just for WNBA. For all of its faults, NBA 2K25 is a very deep game with a lot to do, but most of its depth was found in the game last year and the year before and the year before that. Playing WNBA games is really fun, and Caitlin Clark being a 91 might just make her the highest rated rookie in NBA 2K history. My NBA is the franchise mode, the dynasty mode, and the best mode in the game. And if you want to play a more fair version of My Career, you can create a player in My NBA and then play with them with a player-locked camera. Since My Eras is a thing, you could even play your career in the past, something not possible in the regular My Career. My NBA added a new era this year, the Curry era, which starts the league in 2016. I would have preferred a Bill Russell era with a black and white broadcast package, but the Curry era is still pretty cool. It's better than I thought it would be. You can be the Warriors right after they sign KD, or you can try and take them down. As cool as the My Eras feature is, this is the third year of it. You'd expect there to be more player licenses, you should be able to pick any starting year, and a ton of core issues with the mode should be fixed by now. Instead, they added farewell tours for retiring players and the FIBA tournament. Still no bubble in 2020, and the mode still suffers from issues with draft class generation, CPU team decision making, and player progression. The rosters are also less complete than usual. A bunch of players who just retired are now no longer part of the Players Association, meaning 2K can't license them unless they work with them individually. So guys like Blake Griffin, John Wall, and even Andre Iguodala are missing. It's weird starting the Warriors in the Curry era and not having Iggy there to take the final shot and save the planet from the Martians. I want Iguodala. Someone on Reddit named Tropical Wendigo released their own analysis on the completeness of rosters in My Eras, and he found that the Kobe era was the most complete, while the new Curry era, even though it's from 2016, only has 73% accuracy. The Curry era Blazers are specifically bad, only having 6 real players. This PS5 version of the game is now on PC, so I'm sure mods will eventually come fixing these rosters, but for console players, the licensing issues are pretty annoying. There are issues with historical inaccuracies as well, such as the 2016 Hornets practicing in a Bobcats-themed arena. The mode is head and shoulders above every other sports game on the market, but that isn't saying much when every other sports game on the market is terrible. It's more or less the same as last year, and I can't keep giving it praise when 2K continues to ignore the core issues within the mode. If you are exclusively an offline player, I would recommend the PC version of this game, And the improved gameplay combined with this deep mode makes the game worth its cost. This is the best mode within NBA 2K, and it makes franchise mode in games like Madden look like absolute garbage, but you can have basically the same experience outside of gameplay with last year's title on consoles. Blacktop is the same as last year, and it's nearly impossible to distinguish between teams. NBA 2K15 nailed Blacktop by having players wear home or away jerseys. What happened here, and why is this a headache to look at? Finally, online head-to-head has regressed. You can't play with the same team every match anymore. 2K did this to stop people from only using the most meta teams every match, but this means if you're a fan of one team and only want to play with that team online, you won't be able to every match. Also, All-Star Team Up is gone. I used to love playing that mode with friends for a free and fun online match with 10 real players. Why was that removed? Overall, NBA 2K20
It'll be a new edition in 26. I guarantee it. It'll be a new edition in 26. I guarantee it.
25 is an incredibly deep game, but it's not that much deeper than last year, and the game modes themselves are incredibly flawed. Presentation is a mixed bag. The old 2K pregame show with Shaq, Ernie, and Kenny the Jet Smith is now completely gone. The scoreboard is like last year, where it takes up the entire bottom of the screen, and yet the scoreboard elements are flush to the left, creating a ton of dead.
Why is the scoreboard even like this? No. Why is the scoreboard even like this? This is ass. If you was gonna do that, at least put it up top. That would have made more sense, but no.
Dead space on the right that the game uses as a ticker. I think a normal looking scoreboard with a separate ticker that occasionally pops up below would be much better. This scoreboard does not look authentic to a real broadcast.
This is lazy. This is fucking lazy. Oh my god, this is lazy as fuck. So now, when somebody's on a hot streak and they start showing points and rebounds and assists and fouls and all that stuff, now instead of it just popping up, it's just a text just probably gonna scroll by. That's sad.
Commentary is the same as last year, as is presentation altogether for the most part. For a sports game, it's pretty good, but it's been more or less the same for years now. 2K was once pushing the genre forward with presentation, but now it seems like they are content just leaving it untouched until another sports game can top it. This game would be so much better right now if it had competition. We need NBA Live or NBA Street to return. The broadcast elements are a little weird looking and use strange colors, but when playing older games through My Eras, the presentation packages change to match that era, which 2K has been doing for a few years now, but it's still really cool. Other sports games don't do this. I do find it annoying, however, that shot feedback and your player stats in the top right don't match the era. They stick out pretty bad. The main menu is pretty basic and boring to look at, and pop-ups for My Team or the Season Pass appear, and the button to disregard the pop-up is almost hidden, while the option to click through the ad is front and center. This makes the game feel cheap and like a cash grab. The game has some glitches already too, in terms of polish. In my career, numerous people have experienced their player being copied and sharing the floor at once, so you'll see 3 of the same guy on the floor. There are frame rate issues in the city, some morphing and shoppiness all around, the usual server issues of course, and overall, it's not the most polished game, but the NBA on-court experience is the game at its best and most polished. Replays of players running down the court after a shot look better than ever and less awkward than before. The soundtrack is pretty good as well, mixing old songs and new songs together across numerous genres. I have no issues with it, and presentation overall, like I said, is a mixed bag. Overall, NBA 2K25 is more annoying than usual in terms of my career and overall monetization, but I have to give the game credit for taking some big steps forward with gameplay. This 2K plays way better than usual.
God, that was terrible.
This game would get a not good from me if not for gameplay being such an improvement, but it is an improvement. That said, 2K doesn't feel like it's really come a long way over the years, and it really seems like they are coasting by in most other areas in the game. banking on hitting revenue goals from addictive microtransactions rather than by selling a good product. I am feeling a 5 out of 10 for NBA 2K25. There's a really solid NBA game here, hidden behind layers and layers of microtransactions and unnecessary bloat. I wish 2K would focus less on go-kart racing in the city and more on making NBA 2K the best NBA licensed simulation basketball video game of all time, but that won't happen without competition. This game is not worth $70, but I would say it's worth about $35 on sale. Playing through my NBA in any of the
shit ain't worth a dime to me. This shit's some bullshit. 2 packs of ass right here. But I digress though.
The eras with the improved gameplay will be a blast overall for offline players. If you're an online player on the fence, unless you want to play one of the most predatory and pay-to-win online games out there, your time is better spent on a game that actually respects the intelligence of its player base. You'll either have to grind for way too long or pay hundreds of dollars to have a good time in most of these online game modes. NBA 2K25 has a solid core game and it has potential, but Take-Two is doing their best to ruin it, however, as always. No matter what strides the developers take with gameplay, the game seems to be getting greedier and greedier, while resources are directed towards pay-to-win modes more than anything else. 2K desperately needs competition. Thanks for watching.
Alrighty, man. That's just gonna about do it for this one, man. I tried to tell y'all.
Turn this on. Turn it on!
I tried to tell y'all. But y'all hard-headed asses would not listen. And you bought the game again after I done told y'all not to buy the fucking game. And y'all say, we done with 2K. And then y'all still go ahead and buy the game because they put up 2K15 parties. Come on, Shane. What are we doing out here? It's a shame what happened to y'all. This community will never understand the power that you have, man. When y'all really understand the power that y'all have, you'll understand why it's important to take a stance to get your point across, so that way we can make this, so that way we can make shit better. The practices that 2K have been doing over the past couple of years has been ruining gaming as a whole, and it's our, well, it's not my fault, it's y'all fault. Because y'all giving these gaming companies the power to just be like, oh, we can do whatever the fuck we want to do. Look at what they're doing with 2K. Look at what they're doing with Madden. If they can treat their fan base like this, we can treat our fan base like that. It doesn't matter. They're gonna buy our shit anyway. Imagine if we keep letting this happen, and how it's going to affect gaming as a whole, not just the sports gaming, but the gaming realm in general. The Fable and Fairies games, the platformer games, the racing games, the first-person shooter games, all that shit gets affected if we don't take a stand as a community, or if y'all don't take a stand as a community. I took my stance. I'm not buying this shit. I probably pirated it on PC just to give it a try, but outside of that, fuck this game. If y'all don't take a stance, y'all not going. How can we help the gaming community as a whole? Because one company can. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand. Video games were not $70 until 2K did it. 2K is the reason why games are now $70. They were the first ones to be greedy enough to be like, let's bump that shit up. So like $60. We're thinking 70 this time around, pal. We're not finna keep giving y'all $60 games every fucking year. No, fuck that. We done gave you $60 games since the Xbox 360. Nope. It's time for a pay rate. It's time for an uptick in the price. Because video games weren't going to go up past $60. Every game was like $60 the standard, and we go keep it as standard. 2K is the reason why games are now $70. We're getting closer to 100. We're getting this close to 100. And y'all gonna let 2K be the one to decide that. You know? Do y'all know how dangerous that's gonna be? Where video games are $100 fucking dollars? So if we don't take stance and try to take back control of the video game for ourselves, the consumers, the ones that play the game, the ones that have to sit here with the game, if we don't take back control of that, we're gonna be lost. And it's gonna be bad. Video gaming as a whole will just fucking fall off. It's happened once before. It happened back in the 80s, okay? Or the 70s, whatever fucking year. Whatever fucking decade it was, where video games just had like this complete fucking fall off. And nobody was buying video games for a good amount of years. Video game industry was damn near dead until Nintendo came along and said, alrighty, we'll save y'all. But we gotta understand, man, we are the consumer. We have the power. We have the ability to make or break a game. And we should be breaking this game. We should be breaking the very foundation. We should force them to go back to $60. Fuck it, we should make them sell us the game for $45. Why not go for $40? $40. Y'all don't understand how much power we have. Y'all must have forgot a couple of years ago pretty much over a decade ago, when the Xbox One was coming out and it was on that online DRM shit. And as an entire gaming community, we said, fuck Xbox. We done with Xbox. Xbox is canceled. And what did Xbox do? They folded. They gave in to our demands as the consumers. And they said, you know what? We apologize. We're not going to do no stupid shit like that no more. Y'all can have it. Whatever y'all want. Whatever y'all want this console to be, we'll make sure that we do it for y'all. And that way, we apologize. We are so sorry to our consumers. We're so sorry to everybody. We don't want to offend. Please buy our game. Please buy our console. We spend a lot of time on this console. Please buy our console. Please. All right. Only because you said please. But if you don't understand, that's how much power we have. If we could make a console, not a game, but a console. If we could make a company that makes the console go back on their own word, we can do this with 2K. It's just gonna take an effort for us to say fuck this game. We can't keep falling into the hype. It's bullshit every fucking year. We can't keep falling into the hype. This is where we have to stop and say no. If we don't have that mindset, gaming could be in a dangerous place in a couple of years. Because the way how these motherfuckers moving, it's not going to be long for this game is like $100. If they could uptick it to 70, what make you think they can't uptick it to 100? And make $100 the new standard for video games. And now every video game is $100. So think about it. You're going to spend $100 on a game that's not even ready. Day one. Game ain't even ready. You can't even do what you want to do on the game. It's not even ready day one, but you spending $100? They expect us to spend $100 on video games that's not even ready day one? We gotta wait for a patch on day 3? Huh? Come on, dog. We gotta do better as a community, dog. Because if we don't stop it now, it's just gonna get worse later. At some point, y'all have to say no. At some point, y'all gotta say no. But y'all stupid asses keep doing the same shit every year, and y'all don't understand the effects that y'all are going to have on the game community as a whole. So I hope the people that do listen to this, because I have been getting a lot of love for these videos lately, and I appreciate that. I really do. But like I said, man, if we don't make a change now, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Y'all can just go ahead and pay $100 for a game. They already talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 being $100. Yes, they are. Because They are contemplating whether Grand Theft Auto 6 will be $100 retail day one. Think about that. While y'all sitting up here playing this bullshit game every year because you feel like you finna be left out. It's a fucking video game. They have multiple other games from previous years. You play one of them. But I digress though. Anyways though, I'll see y'all the next one. Till then, peace out.